Talking loud in the nighttime air. Voices clash, waiting out of care. Opinions flare like they matter so. But who's right, we'll never know. Microphones like weapons drawn. Swagger in the twilight dawn. Each word iron, each thought steel. To be heard is the final deal. Howling offense in the midnight haze. Everybody's offended, each one sways. We're offended, you're offended, that's the way. Claim the night with the things we say. Truths clash like broken dreams. Voice to voice, let it scream. What's real in this foggy light? Bow hard till the morning light. Feel the hunger of the crowd. Anxious to erupt so loud. Unity in discord side. Witness as their worlds collide. Howling up in the midnight haze. Everybody's offended, each one sways. We're offended, you're offended, that's the way. Claim the night with the things we say. Truths clash like broken dreams. Raise your voice, let it scream. What's real in this foggy light? Battle hard till the morning light. Feel the hunger of the crowd. Anxious to erupt so loud. Unity in discord's tide. Witness as their worlds collide. Howling up in the midnight haze. Everybody's offended, each one sways. We're offended, you're offended, that's the way. Claim the night with the things we say. We say. We say. We say. We say. We say.
Yes, my mother twitted my fucking temples. Yes, my mother twitted my fucking. Yes, my mother.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to We're Offended, You're Offended. I'm Kim, and I'm Solomish today. So hope everyone's had a fantastic day so far. Hope you had a great weekend. It is Monday, the dreaded Mondays. Oh, and it was a day. Typical Monday, if you say. I'm really not trying to rhyme. I'm not freaking Dr. Seuss here. However, it appeared that way. Anyway, if you are new here, hi, hello, welcome. Don't forget to hit the little subscribe button down below. And thank you for clicking on the little button to come sit with me and listen to the craziness going on in the world today. So today we are going to be talking about more about the Minneapolis garbage going on because it's a little insane. I pride myself on looking at both sides, and I try not to be biased, I guess. I try to see both sides of the situation, and I can find sympathy on both sides of the situation. So we're going to be looking at both sides today, and I guess having a little chat about it. I got a lot of TikToks for you guys to go through with me. So, but before we do, Leo, kick it. Hi, me again. All right. So now I'm pretty sure a lot of you are aware of what's going on in Minneapolis right now with the whole ICE situation, the Renee Good situation, all that fun stuff. And I'm not really sure what side of the, I don't want to say spectrum because it sounds really bad, but what side of the spectrum you're on. But as I said, we're going to take a look from both sides today, and we're going to start with being on the left side. We're going to take a look at them right now and see what they're complaining about. So first we have here, so people are complaining about an elderly man who got detained from ICE agents. I mean, it's good they let him put a blanket on. The shirt would have been better. Just saying. However, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to laugh, but like, I wonder if Homegirl actually knows the guy that just got detained, or if it's just a overreaction, as most of them are. Yes. Hi, Ryan. Okay, we got that one there. Then we have another video that people were talking about that was talking about some teen who was arrested. Now, as far as I can tell, the elderly man who was arrested was actually released and found to be an American citizen, from what I can tell, or what I've heard anyway. Allegedly. And this one here is with a teen who was taken. Little aggressive. Okay. So you can't hear the video audio? Is that an issue with everyone else? Can't hear the audio in the video? Oh, no. Well, that's not good. Why? Is anyone else having that issue too, where they can't hear the audio in the video? Curious to know. This is slightly awkward. God, I love when this happens when it's just me. Then I don't have Tyler sitting there being able to talk and do stuff while I try to figure stuff out. I did share stream audio, I think, but hold on. Let's try again. Maybe my problem is how I'm sharing it. Oh my God, I am such a schmutz. Nope, that's exactly what it was. Thank you, Tyler. Are you serious? Why? Oh my God. You know what, guys? I am so sorry. So this is a live show every Monday, Wednesday, and a Saturday. Monday at 8 p.m. Central, Saturday at 1 p.m. Central. So I'm really sorry, but stuff like this occasionally happens. Just bear with me, okay? I promise I'll get it fixed right away. So apparently it won't let me share a window and share the audio at the same time. So we're going to have to do this the annoying way. So we'll start this one again. Sorry.
An American teenager was taken by ICE agents right outside his own home, even after he calmly told them he could go inside and retrieve his ID to prove who he was. You heard that right. Not at the border, right in front of a residential house. In the video, the teen stays calm. He repeatedly explains that his identification is inside the home, just a few steps away. The agents refuse. They make it clear they are not going to verify his identity on the spot. Instead, they say, we'll confirm it at headquarters. Moments later, the teenager is forced into an ICE vehicle. No warrant is shown. No specific charges are explained.
Do you hear the wording there, though? Like, okay, yes, you do see the kid being motioned into said vehicle and obviously told, go to the vehicle, get in. But the wording that they use on so many of these situations, the video that I had showed earlier, they said that they dragged an elderly man out of his house half naked. So with that, he was guided out of his home. Yes, he might have been taken out of his home. But when you hear the wording dragged out of his home half naked, you're literally envisioning somebody dragging you, feet trailing behind you out of your house. This one, kid forced into a vehicle. You're expecting them pushing this kid into the vehicle. That is the image that you see in your head when they use wording like this, which is, I feel, so dangerous, because when you have people who are already anger fueled, they hear things like this and they just go from 0 to 100 like that. And it's very telling, but anyway.
Immediate threat is cited. And here's the most alarming part. He is a minor.
Obviously.
As of now, ICE has not provided an official explanation for the video. But in Minneapolis, the incident has reignited public outrage over the limits of law enforcement power. If the government can detain someone first and figure out who they are later based only on suspicion, then this is no longer just about immigration enforcement.
In to see how we're doing here in Minneapolis. I'm here in South. I live just a few blocks from where Renee Good was off.
I was muted the entire time,
and I
wasn't
just
I?
want to share a few stories of things that are actually happening here. These are stories I personally know of or can personally vouch for. Last week in our community, a person was detained out of their vehicle and driven off. And then when observers went to check on the vehicle to see if they could get it back to the family, they found a baby asleep in the back seat. And it is really cold here. They just left a baby. A mother I know of is searching for her 6-year-old who was detained along with his father. She has no idea where her child is because there's no database of minors who have been detained. We know another person who is here legally, all documented, here to receive medical care, detained. We know of a refugee family, again, here, vetted, legally detained, already in Texas. And it is not just like undocumented people that are getting targeted. I know citizens who are afraid to leave, citizens who are being asked for their papers, citizen family who hid in their house with the lights off because ICE was going through their neighborhood. Like, they're basically just going after any Black and brown person they see. It is unorganized. It is reckless. In terms of how it's like to live here, you drive through the street, 5 minutes to the library, I'll see multiple frozen water vehicles. It's just alarming,
frozen
right?
water.
You're seeing them in tactical gear.
Interesting way of putting
just
it.
kind of everywhere, like ants in the kitchen, right? helicopters all the time, and you're kind of wondering, like, okay, is this continuing news coverage? Is that a military helicopter? Is there breaking news that I don't know about? Like, what's going on right now? That vigilant feeling that we all had in 2020 after George Floyd. Our phones are pinging all day long.
Oh my God, after George Floyd. Okay. Sorry. Clearly I missed that part when I first watched it, but whatever. You know what? It's fine. So clearly we know what side of the spectrum she is on. I don't know for a fact that if whatever it is that she's talking about these people who their 6-month baby got left in the vehicle, or they're missing their child, I don't know if these are actually people she actually knows, or if this is literally just hearsay like everybody else. They're hearing stories, they're hearing horror stories, which is super dangerous. Spreading things like that, it creates a lot more outrage. Let's see here. Squirrely says, funny, it's a white woman telling you lies of the UN activist agenda. 100%. Yeah, I don't doubt the fact that a lot of these people are actors. I really don't. They're 100% paid. I think that, I don't know. I mean, if this is actually all people she knows, Homegirl knows a lot of people who are being detained, which is a little weird. But I mean, personally, could be true. I don't know. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. It screams, as Squirrely Nuts say, paid actors. I don't know. I mean, come with it what you will. And then the whole George Floyd thing, like, I mean, anybody at this day and age who actually still thinks that George Floyd is, oh my God, can you stop playing, guys? Is innocent and wrongfully killed. I don't. He died of fentanyl and everything else going on in his system, but whatever. I can't even with these people. All right, so then there's this guy here when we're talking about brown people, or
where were you born,
as the girl had said.
Where were you born at?
Put your hands behind your back.
Ramon Monero was detained by U.S. Border Patrol agents outside his home in a Minneapolis suburb after an agent questioned whether he was a citizen because of his accent.
I'm from this country.
You know what, sir? Now talking to you, hearing that you have an accent, I have reason to believe that you are not
Just
born.
funny, he does
you
have an
just
accent
made one
himself
country.
too, but
What country are you from?
According to Monera, agents took a photo of him and searched a system that indicated he's been a U.S. citizen since 2019. They also checked his U.S. passport card, which he keeps in his wallet, before letting him go. Monera, who was born in Mexico and obtained a U.S. passport in 2021, was detained in front of his 5-year-old daughter.
Well, she was shaking when I got in the home, and she's like, "Are you okay? That we're gonna take you? I don't want to lose you." And I'm like, "You're not gonna lose me." Even though I'm a citizen, I'm still feel afraid because they don't care if you're a citizen or not. And especially because I know I have a really strong accent speaking English.
what?
I know I can be a target because that's who are they targeting just because our appearance and because of our accent.
CNN has contacted the Department of Homeland Security for comment on the incident and to ask if agents are allowed to temporarily detain people on the street with accents.
Why are you asking me for my paper?
Okay, so guys, we know this stuff is going on. Okay, we know these people are, or these people are in your neighborhood and they're looking for illegal immigrants. For one, you're literally sitting there when they're asking for your papers. Why are you asking for my papers? You have an accent. What, like, why are you asking for mine? Just hand them the freaking papers. That's literally like everybody says when you get pulled over by the cops, put your hands on the wheel, the whole hands up, don't shoot shit. I mean, if someone's coming up to you, it's ICE, and they're saying, give me your papers, give them your forking papers. Like, I don't know why this would even become a contention, and you sitting there and fighting it. It looks suspicious. Even if you are an actual Canadian Canadian. Okay, I'm in Canada, so bear with me here. American citizen or Canadian citizen, whatever. Even if you are that, would you not rather just be like, yeah, I'm a citizen, here you go. They can look at your paperwork and you can be on your way and be done with it. Why cause something? Why make it bigger than it needs to be? But it's because people want those clicks, right? They see what this person is going through, and instead of actually having a rational thought, like, hey, if he would have just handed over his paperwork when they asked for it, none of this would have happened. I mean, when we're talking about like that kid, that teen that was taken, I think the fact that he was saying repeatedly, I have my paperwork, and they wouldn't let him get the paperwork. It's kind of shitty, I will say. Biggest things. Oh my God. And with that, like I think that situation kind of sucks. But the kid luckily was calm, just kept saying, I have my paperwork, and carried on. And clearly they found the paperwork and away they went. The story with the lady about talking about, you know, how they don't know where their kid is and stuff like that. I don't know how valid this stuff is. In that specific situation. 50% of the country is trying to upset the other 50% of the country. 1,000%. 1,000%. God, what do I got here? So the Fourth Amendment. Let's talk about the Fourth Amendment, shall we? The Fourth Amendment in the U.S. Constitution protects people from unreasonable searches and seizures by the government, requiring that warrants be supported in probable cause, sworn oath, and specifically described the place to be searched and the people or things to be seized, balanced individuality, privacy with legitimate government interests like public safety. It ensures law enforcement needs to have a warrant based on solid evidence for most searches, though exceptions exist, and this application constantly evolves with new technologies like digital data, etc. So I get that side of it. I get the side of someone saying like you need a warrant, stuff like that. But I mean, I'm just thinking about it in a realistic standpoint. If someone were to pull me over and like I literally said before, if someone were to pull me over and be like, hey, so you match the description of somebody who's been committing crimes. Can I see your ID? Why am I going to, if I'm innocent, why am I going to deny that? Why am I going to sit there and say, no, you can't see it? What right do you have? Just to start, I don't know, start shit? I would be like, here you go. I mean, maybe I'd pull up my phone at that moment and start recording just to be safe. However, this is what you want. Okay, here you go. Like, I understand the defiant nature in people. I really do. But when it's coming to law enforcement, stuff like that, why are you risking the safety of yourself and others? Like, why? I don't understand. Speaking of, again, things on the left and not good things. Not good. When you didn't hear me last time when I was accidentally muted, this is a live show. Also, for whatever reason, it's not allowing me to share just my whole window for me to go between all these videos and have the audio. So I have to do this one by one. So I'm really sorry. Just kind of bear with me here. So in this situation that I seen in this video,
extremely disturbing. A young woman in Minneapolis was just driving her car, trying to get to a doctor's appointment before finding the road blocked by ICE. They broke into her car, threw her out of the vehicle, and arrested her, even though she's an American citizen. Look at this. What I'm about to show you.
So if something like this did happen, well, not if, okay, I can see it happened. I can see it with my lying eyes. It sucks. I don't know, like, okay, so she didn't move according to this video. The facts are she didn't move because she was on her way to a doctor's appointment. They pulled her from the vehicle and they dragged her. That looks extremely painful, the way that they're bringing her to the vehicle, which I personally don't consent with. It doesn't appear, I don't know what the video was or what had happened prior to them pulling her out of the vehicle. If it was as kosher as they're making it sound, how she's just sitting in there and they ripped her out, I'm going to say not really cool. I can understand that the temperatures and the feelings of people around are very heightened. I can understand that the ICE agents, after the whole Renee thing, you know, and I'm sure a plethora of amount of other people who have been blocking them, impeding what they're supposed to be doing, they're getting frustrated. If this woman is an innocent woman and mistreated, I feel really bad for her, and that's not cool. It's hard to believe a lot of things that you're seeing because they show you in small edited things. So, but again, I do not consent to treatment like that, especially if she's an innocent woman and did nothing wrong. So I would agree that that's not cool. Okay. So I heard this. You guys, I wanted to die. And I felt like if I needed to hear this, well, you guys get to hear it too. It's truly beautiful. Touches you right in the feelers, I promise.
Renee, 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 you were driving away.
But she shouldn't have been.
Renee, 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 you were protecting, fleeing.
Protecting what? Oh, I get criminals, right?
Being, doing no harm.
You hit a cop.
Renee, 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 I wish you'd driven away.
She tried.
May we all drive away. What? Drive away.
I
have crazy thought. How about let's not put yourself in a situation where you're in between potential criminals and law enforcement of any type. Crazy thought, I know. But I mean, you literally put yourself in the way to block off people from and impede and from doing their job. So, I mean, there's so much about this whole thing where she was so innocent. She was this, she was that. Nobody talks about the things that was happening prior to. She was a mother. Okay, well, let's talk about the fact that she didn't have custody of her children. Let's talk about that. No? Oh, no. Innocent. That's right. She was impeding law enforcement, literally helping criminals. But no. Let's not talk about that either. Okay. Let's just sing a song about her because kumbaya freaking yeah. So, yes. Good times, guys. Oh my god, I'm really sorry. I keep hitting buttons here. Keep trying to do things and I'm hitting all the kind of wrong buttons. Did I mention this is a live show? I'm not gonna lie, I kind of digging the song. However, the wording in this is just I mean, chef's kiss. So to anybody who's just listening, so it says Handmaid's March in Minneapolis. The ICE suppresses in Minneapolis. They present unity. ICE presents division. They present America first. ICE presents Trump first. They represent freedom. Okay, so allegedly they represent freedom and unity. Unity. Okay, well, I mean, I'm not really sure what kind of unity you're talking about. However, this doesn't sound or look very unity like to me. Just saying.
Is doing its job, enforcing the law, protecting the public, and securing borders.
The bottom it says, "Get ready with me." Well, I implore you to prepare.
Keep sucking daddy's dick on the far right.
You're welcome for the language. My bad. She's getting really dolled up here.
Ice, we ain't gonna play it nice. You wanna fight? Keep sucking daddy's dick on the far right.
Chaos erupted in the streets of Los Angeles as protesters and police clashed. Tensions escalating Sunday as thousands of protesters took to the streets in response to President Donald Trump's extraordinary deployment.
It's amazing.
Ice.
Get the gear and get outside.
And what do you plan on doing with the gear?
If you can, of course.
Of course, if you can. What do you plan on doing with the gear? Why are you dressed like that? Wearing gas masks and goggles, hiding your face. What do you plan on doing? It definitely does not look like a kumbaya-esque type thing. No, it definitely doesn't. But I'm going to say that a huge part of the stuff that you're seeing is definitely encouraged and incited by Tampon Tim. And I mean, this is just unbelievable.
Fellow Minnesotans, what's happening in Minnesota right now defies belief. News reports simply don't do justice to the level of chaos and disruption and trauma the federal government is raining down upon our communities. 2,000 to 3,000 armed agents of the federal government have been deployed to Minnesota. Armed, masked, undertrained ICE agents are going door to door, ordering people to point out where their neighbors of color live. They're pulling over people indiscriminately, including U.S. citizens, and demanding to see their papers.
Okay.
And at grocery stores, at bus stops, even at our schools, they're breaking windows, dragging pregnant women down the street, just plain grabbing Minnesotans and shoving them into unmarked vans.
Hold on. Hold on a second. So they're demanding to see paperwork, kind of like they did through COVID, when they demanded to see your COVID vaccine cards, dragging people down the street or whatever, asking people to turn on their neighbors like you guys did through COVID. Huh. Interesting.
Kidnapping innocent people with no warning and no due process.
COVID hotels?
Let's be
What?
very clear. This long ago stopped being a matter of immigration enforcement. Instead, it's a campaign of organized brutality against the people of Minnesota by our own federal government.
Like you
Last
started through
week,
COVID.
that campaign claimed the life of Renee Nicole Good. We've all watched the video. We've all seen what happened. And yet, instead of conducting an impartial investigation so we can hold accountable the officer responsible for Renee's death, the Trump administration is devoting the full power of the federal government to finding an excuse to attack the victim and her family.
Okay, I get the fact that she's a victim, that she unfortunately died due to unfortunate situation that never should have happened to begin with. She hit a cop, a federal agent, a cop, ICE agent, whatever, a federal agent. She hit him with her vehicle. In what other situation do you know of that somebody can attack a federal agent, cop, RCMP, whatever you want to call it, and there be no retaliation whatsoever, then just be like, oh no, I got hit by a car. Oh, shucks. I'll just let her go. You hit a cop. I'm sorry, girl, but you fucked up. Your wife fucked up by literally telling you to drive. I don't know why you would listen to your dumbass wife who is telling you to drive away from cops. But wait. Yeah, apparently. Sorry. So Tyler, who is not here today because he is driving, says, wait, they're complaining that the right wanted women like the Handmaid's Tale, and now they want to be handmaidens? Apparently. I mean, the thing is, the long short of thing, should she have died? No. I think that really sucks. Should she have been there in the first place, impeding people from doing their jobs? No. Should she have hit a cop or an ICE agent? Whatever. No. She assaulted somebody. End of story. Like, regardless of the sucky situation that it is, she did bad. And apparently bad retaliated, or it retaliated and she got bad. I can't English. English is hard, guys. You know what I'm trying to say here. Let's carry on.
Just yesterday, 6 federal prosecutors, including the longtime career prosecutor leading the charge to investigate and eliminate fraud in our state's programs, quit their jobs rather than go along with this assault on the United States Constitution.
Oh my God.
But as bad as it's been, Donald Trump intends for it to get worse. This week, he went online to promise that, quote, the day of retribution and reckoning is coming. That's a direct threat against the people of this state who dared to vote against him 3 times and who continue to stand up for—
Okay. So apparently you're taking it as because Minneapolis decided to vote against Republican Party in the election, that this is why Trump is coming down on you? Are you being serious right now? Did you know that, and I shared this in one of our other podcasts a couple episodes ago, that literally other leaders also said that they were going to get rid of illegal immigrants and deport people? Obama, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, and then it goes back further and further and further, which I can't remember everybody's names because I just can't. But it literally keeps going back. You can look it up, and everybody, because they were on the Democratic side, cheered for it, thought it was absolutely fantastic. But because Big Orange Man is on the other side of the spectrum and he's demanding immigrants be gone, and he's the only one that's actually implemented anything that he said. All these other people who were talking about deportation and stuff like that, yeah, they may have talked about it. There may have been small things done, but Trump is actually, pushing for it to be done. And now everyone has an issue with it because somebody actually is doing the thing that they said they were going to do. Weird. You cheered for the other guys who didn't do anything. They were all talk. But then the guy who's doing it, nay. Let's carry on.
Freedom with courage and empathy and profound grace. All across Minnesota, people are stepping up to help their neighbors who are being unjustly and unlawfully targeted. They're distributing care packages and walking kids to school and raising their voices in peaceful protest, even though doing so has made many of our fellow Minnesotans targets.
We'll get to
for
that.
Violent retribution.
Peaceful protesting.
Folks, I know it's scary. And I know it's absurd that we all have to be defending law and order, justice, and humanity while also caring for our families and trying to do our jobs. So tonight, let me say once again to Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, end this occupation. You've done enough. Let me say 4 critical things to the people of Minnesota. 4 things I want you to hear as you watch the news and look out for your neighbors. First, Donald Trump wants this.
It's so funny hearing somebody say, look out for your neighbors, when literally we just came out of COVID where they were telling you to turn in your neighbors. You see them, having people over that aren't their immediate family. Turn them in. They don't get vaccinated. Turn them in. We literally, it was just a couple of years ago, you guys, that literally our government was making us turn against each other. And now this all of a sudden is a big issue. To turn in illegal people, not actual American citizens, but illegal people. I'm sorry, but through the whole COVID thing, those were American citizens. Those were Canadian citizens that you had people turn on. Their neighbors, their friends. Luckily, out of this, we found one of our neighbors, who is absolutely fantastic. And we absolutely love them. Absolutely love them. And they're not even from here. But they're legal as well. Just saying. Anyway.
It's chaos. He wants confusion. And yes, he wants more violence on our streets.
No,
we
wants
cannot
less,
give
but
him
okay.
what he wants. We must protest loudly, urgently, but also peacefully. Indeed, as hard as we will fight in the courts and at the ballot box, we cannot and will not let violence prevail. You're angry. I'm angry. Angry is not a strong enough word.
Oh, I'm angry.
But we must remain peaceful. Second, you are not powerless. You are not helpless, and you are certainly not alone. All across Minnesota, people are learning about opportunities, not just to resist, but to help people who are in danger. Thousands upon thousands of our fellow Minnesotans are going to be relying on mutual aid in the days and weeks to come, and they need our support. Tonight, I want to share another way you can help. Witness. Help us establish a record of exactly what's happening in our communities. You have an absolute right to peacefully film ICE agents as they conduct these activities. So carry your phone with you at all times. And if you see these ICE agents in your neighborhood, take out that phone and hit record. Help us create a database of the atrocities against Minnesotans, not just to establish a record for posterity, but to bank evidence for future prosecution. The third thing I want to say to you tonight is we will not have to live like this forever. Accountability is coming at the voting booth and in court. We will reclaim our communities from Donald Trump. We will reestablish a sense of safety for our neighbors, and we will bring an end to this moment of chaos, confusion, and trauma. We will find a way to move forward, and we'll do it together, and we'll not be alone. Every day, we are working with business leaders, faith leaders, legal experts, and elected officials from across this country. They've all seen what Donald Trump is trying to do to our state, and they know their states could be next. And that brings me to the fourth thing I want to say tonight, Minnesota, how incredibly proud I am of the way that you've risen to meet this unbearable moment.
What?
But I'm not at all surprised, because this is who we are. Minnesotans believe in the rule of law, and Minnesotans believe in the dignity of all people. We're a place where there's room for everybody, no matter who you are or who you love or where you came from. A place where we feed our kids, we take care of our neighbors, and we look out for those in the shadows of life. We're an island of decency in a country being driven towards cruelty. We will remain an island of decency, of justice, of community, of peace. And tonight I come before you simply to ask, don't let anyone take that away from us. Thank you, protect each other, and may God bless the people of Minnesota.
Oh my God, this guy. Really? Peacefully? And I want to see how peaceful these people were. Like, there's nothing peaceful that these people are doing. They're literally attacking people. Like, literally attacking people who don't believe in what they believe. They're impeding law enforcement. And again, I'm just going to say, when it comes to some of the videos that we've seen today, some of the videos, I will say, look pretty damning. They look pretty bad. And if they are true, Not cool. Now, I'm going to say ICE has a job. ICE is meant to take out or detain, I guess, illegal immigrants. When you have people, excluding the teenage child, and other people who are willing to give their papers and for whatever reason they're refusing it, when you have people who are refusing these things, what do you expect is going to happen? They're going to assume that you are trying to hide yourself and that you are trying to flee, that you don't want to tell them who it is that you are because they don't want to get caught. That is the assumption. And I know what everybody says about assuming. It makes an ass out of you and me, all that fun jazz. But that's just the fact of the matter. That's exactly what's going to happen. When you have people who... So things like that, if those things are true, where they're pulling people out, there's a 6-month-old child left in a vehicle. These things are bad. And there is room for error on every side of every aspect that you look at. They're trying to do something. Emotions get high and stuff like that. Mistakes are going to happen. Am I saying that they're okay and that it's right? No. But you have people who are, this isn't peaceful, you guys. There's nothing peaceful about these things that are happening. And anyway, do better. There's this guy here. It's an ICE agent. So now we're going to go more on the other side. So here's an ICE agent here who's pleading.
Reporting. We're here to arrest a child sex offender. And you guys are out here honking.
No, we're pressed. We're not
That
pressed.
vehicle right there is honking and impeding our investigations while we're trying to arrest a child sex offender. That's who you guys are protecting. Insane.
I understand.
That's what we're doing. My word's not for you. My word is not for you. I don't have to do it.
The funny thing is that I don't know if you can hear the girl, but she was talking about a warrant. You have a warrant. What I find absolutely mind blowing is a lot of these people that you're going to see in these next few videos. Now, I'm not saying every single ICE person or people that ICE pick up are all criminals. Again, there's going to be room for error. And when people are denying to give their quote unquote papers or their ID or whatever it may be, makes them look highly suspicious. It really does. That's the fact of the matter. Now, what they are trying to do is go after sex offenders, people who are rapists, child rapists, child SAs. And there are so many people that everybody is so concerned because of the color of somebody's skin that they're going after. Because of the color of their skin, they clearly have to be innocent and they're not a criminal in some sort of way. And the thing is, they could be like, oh, my neighbor is so nice. How many, there are some, but how many serial enders or essayers or whatever out there aren't people that a neighbor was like, wow, he was such a nice guy. I had no idea. Yeah, he seemed a little weird, but I had no idea that he was actually into CP and all this other stuff. Weird. It happens all the time. So it doesn't matter how nice your neighbor looks. Now, I'm not saying because of the color of their skin, you got to turn them in or that they're a bad person. But that's what they're looking at right now, is that they're going after, is they're trying to get the criminals out. And the fact that so many of these people that we'll see in the videos ahead are defending these people. They're literally defending criminals. They're stopping ICE agents from going after a criminal. Now, yeah, okay, they could just be honking their horn. However, to somebody who is an SAer of children that they're going after, you're sitting there honking your horn, you're warning them that they're coming. You're allowing them to get away. And the funny thing is, if something had actually happened to one of these protesters' children or somebody that they know, I'm pretty sure, almost certain, they would be on the other side of the fence of this. But because they want to scream their virtue flags and all this other shit, and oh, look at me, I'm a white person who's pro brown person or whatever, like it literally has nothing to do with that. Yes, there are people who are going to get stopped because of the color of their skin, because of their accent. They ask you to show papers, just show the fucking papers. I'm sorry. I know I'm harping on this a lot, but it's insane to me how common sense is completely gone right now. People are just not thinking, and you're literally protecting criminals. You were all so quick during COVID to turn on your neighbors, to turn on American citizens. You're supposed to protect American citizens. You were so quick to turn on everybody. But now that things are turned to people who don't belong there, now you're going to stand up and defend? I don't know about you, but I'm pretty forking insulted. I know. Now I decide to censor myself. I know. Just perfect. I'm pretty insulted. You weren't there for me. You weren't standing up for me as a citizen. But somebody who's not a citizen, you're going to stand up for? It's cute. It's really cute. Love it. Anyway, so there's a couple people recently who have been attacked because they are people on the right. And again, it's really funny from the accepting left, the we believe in unity, you guys are all about division, are the most violent people I have seen in my lifetime in America so far. Anyway. So we have somebody here, Jake Lang. Now, I didn't really know who Jake Lang was. And honestly, so he's apparently a right-wing influencer. To be completely honest, I don't really care who he is. The way that this unfolds is not okay. It's just not. But let's take a look, shall we? Up this stupid thing. Far right activist. It always comes down to that. It's a far right person, just like Charlie. Okay, anyway.
Who stormed the U.S. Capitol on January 6th tried to hold a pro-ICE rally in Minneapolis today. However, hundreds of anti-ICE protesters outnumbered a very small group of people who were there in support of ICE. Jake Lang, who organized this entire event, appeared to be injured, was seen crying, and was even chased out of downtown. AFO, am I right, guys? I mean, just take a look at him here, crying as a protester is in his face, telling him what he thinks about him. But Jake called this an anti-fraud march and actually thought a lot of people would show up in support of ICE and what they've done in Minnesota. But instead of swaying the crowd like he thought he was going to do for some reason, you can see the fear in his eyes as he was met with hundreds of anti-ICE protesters who forced them out of downtown. The fact his little pro-ICE rally fell apart so quickly and he was so outnumbered tells you everything about how this community feels right now. Guys like Jake live on Twitter, and they think because a bunch of boss support government overreach, that means every American does as well. But it turns out that's not the case. A far
I don't, far right or not, He wasn't hurting anybody. He was out there saying words. I mean, y'all are literally all about your free speech, right? Oh, it's free speech. We have a free speech and we can free to protest and all this other bullshit. But when somebody says something that you don't like, suddenly free speech isn't allowed. You shut them up. And you don't just shut them up with being like, shush, we don't want to hear it. Nay, you attack. And it's funny how this guy literally points out the fear in his eyes. And he was crying. He was attacked. He was stabbed. He had literal like snowballs, ice balloons, everything thrown at him. I mean, anybody who is on the other side of that, I don't care how tough you think you are, you literally get stabbed and assaulted and cornered where literally there's all these people coming at you and you're stuck against a wall. You're going to tell me you're going to be all like, oh, bring it, bitch. Come on. That is so scary. He was out there saying what he wanted or saying what he was saying. I mean, again, free speech, right? So you don't like it. So say your free speech back. Why do you guys always have to resort to violence all the time? It makes zero sense to me. I just don't understand. And yet it seems to be allowed. So I had happened to look up, like I was looking up stuff on Jake Lang because again, I didn't know who he was. So with looking stuff up, I had happened to come across a Reddit thread. Yes, Reddit. Reddit is just full of the best degenerates out there. It's very entertaining, I gotta say. So this guy here, I know it's kind of hard to see. But this guy here had asked, can I get it bigger? Not really. He said, I'm just curious, was it too much or not enough what happened to Jake Lang? Did we just help Mega's narrative? No, I don't think he was stabbed, but it did look pretty rough at times. Some of the comments that are leveled there. Milwaukee native here. Story tie or strong ties to Minnesota, blah, 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 long family or big family, whatever. I don't really care. Just wanted to drop in and say Minnesota is built different. Always has been. You guys out there never cease to amaze me. As for Jake Lang getting assaulted, no. The restraint those Minnesota protesters showed was on saint level. The bleeding looked more like he slipped and hit his head, if anything. I mean, not a big deal, right? Just imagine what a justifiably angry mob of people could do to someone so abhorrent in this situation. I don't think he would have made it out of Milwaukee or anywhere else, for that matter, with just a little scrape. The very people he came there to target protected him and literally escorted him to safety. You can see in some videos that there was two black men. I don't know if they were actually with him or if they were bystanders who helped get him out of that crazy ass mob and to safety, which is what he's talking about. It's mind-blowing, the collective restraint that was shown. You guys are on another level, and every single American should take notes and give gratitude. Stay strong. Real ones know Minnesota nice isn't actually nice. The feds mistook nice for weakness, and you're showing them what it really means. Really? Throwing things at somebody, stabbing them is on saint level because they didn't actually end his life? That's saint level to you? I'm really beginning to think that civilization is just, there's no hope. Remember when Try That in a Small Town was Mega's favorite song? I didn't go and confront him because I didn't want to give him the attention he craves, but I can't blame people for being outraged right now. So no, I wouldn't personally have laid a hand on him, but I could give a shit. And I think a water balloon treatment was perfect. My thoughts are the asymmetry and the expectations and double standards are insane. And I'll clutch my pearls over people defending freedom and their neighbors when they get some semblance of justice and balance back in the world. Again, I am going to say, where were you during COVID, bitch? So quick to turn on your neighbors and everybody else. But now, when it's criminals they're going after, yes, again, I'm going to specify not all the people that they are detaining are criminals. But that is what they are going after. ICE has a purpose. And yes, right? Jesus, take the wheel. Send the meteor. It's done. It's done. Just end this all, please. I can't even. So not only was Jake Lang assaulted, then we have somebody else who is an independent journalist, Nick Sorter, who was also assaulted and gone after a couple times. You guys. You know, the funny thing is the guy made some sort of comment about, are we just giving MAGA more ammunition? 100% you are. You're literally helping prove the point of how psychotic you guys are. And that somebody needs to step in and do something different and fix it. Anyway.
Now, over the weekend, independent journalist Nick Sorter shared disturbing video of these agitators surrounding and jumping on his car while he attempted to remove himself from the situation. Take a look.
Get out of the way! Get out of the way!
Now, tonight, Nick has shared video of the lead up to this incident exclusively with this show, including moments from a harrowing 911 call. Take a look at what happened just before.
We are at our vehicle surrounded. We need help now. We're at the federal building, Whipple. We need help now. They have us blocked in. Their car is blocking us. They have threatened to kill us repeatedly. They are not allowing us to leave.
I like how that one guy's like, are you scared? Are you scared? Anybody would be scared if there was a mob of people against two. You can smell it.
All right, independent journalist Nick Sorter is here now with more. You know, every time we have you on the show, I always tell you, I applaud your bravery. You know, you put yourself in harm's way.
The first time I watched this, I couldn't get past
that
what looks
seemed
like
pretty harrowing to me. Walk us through it.
What's happening back there?
Yeah,
Kept
so
waiting for it to
Sean,
explode.
My role as an independent journalist is to be able to come out here and show what's going on when the legacy media leaves, right? Because once it gets a little bit dicey, they pack up and go home and say, oh, well, you know, everything we saw was nice and peaceful, right? So just because I'm out here and it gets a little bit tense at night, I'm going to continue to sit there and film. You're not going to bully me out of the location. However, they decided that they were going to try to brutally assault me to get me to leave last night, which included throwing
The acceptable left,
water
remember?
bottles, which are essentially bricks. This is an Antifa tactic, Sean, where they pre-position them and they intend to use them against people like me, as well as federal agents, because in the past, they have a history of doing brain damage to people that they throw these things at. And so that's exactly what they did. We wouldn't leave. We wouldn't turn the cameras off. And they decided that, okay, now we're going to try to, you know, kill them, essentially.
Yeah, if you go back to the summer of 2020, the summer of love, remember, cops were pelted with bricks, rocks, bottles, those frozen water bottles that you
Yep.
talk about. 2,000 cops were injured. Now, when you called 911, did anyone ever show up? Did they ever make it there?
Sean, I don't even know why I bother calling 911 out here in Minneapolis right now. It is, they basically just tell me to screw myself every single time. This is the first time I had to
Wow.
call 911 this time. The last time that I called 911, they called back and said, yep, Sarah, you know, we need you to, I know you're surrounded by a mob, but we need you to walk to this location 6 blocks away to be able to meet with a law enforcement officer. And where I'm
Walk
at right
to
now,
that
Sean,
location.
is actually George Floyd Plaza. You can see back here, this was a speedway that was burned to the ground and looted and has never been rebuilt. And actually, I was
Nice.
going to do the shot from over there, but I had to tell your team right before this started that they've now set it on fire again.
Okay, so I am
can't do
seeing
the
a
shot
fire.
from
I didn't
over
watch
there.
the whole video.
I have never
Nice.
been to a place, not even Portland, which is surprising, where I feel genuinely like I am constantly in danger and the police are just going to tell me to bugger off if I ask them to save me from somebody that is trying to do severe harm to me. I mean, it's terrifying. It's terrifying to be a conservative in Minneapolis right now. And that's exactly how Tim Walz and the mayor out here want it to be.
100%.
I give you a lot of credit, honestly.
With the thing that I had showed earlier with what Tim Walz was saying, 100%. He is literally inciting violence, inciting people to go out and fight. Like, to me, and really people are complaining about, you know, Trump and the Insurrection Act. Like, when is he going to put it out there? The funny thing is you literally had, okay, so the whole January 6th thing, which let's not fully get into. People call that an insurrection. This has been going on for days. The January 6th thing was what, a day? A couple hours? That's it? It's done? This has been going on for days where people are literally getting hurt. People are getting stabbed. People are getting attacked. And I can't even, like, just because somebody is a quote unquote conservative or Republican, right away it's you're bad, so we're going to go after you. Doesn't matter what it is that you did, but we're just coming after you. And unfortunately, it wasn't the first time and won't be the last time Nick Sorter was attacked. We have another one here, which just recently he had posted here. And this was, just yesterday. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey! Hey, get, what did you do? Fucking...
If you didn't see, the door had gotten open and someone grabbed something from him.
She took Nick's camera. She just stole Nick's camera.
Like, she literally could have killed him here.
Just tell her to give him the camera back. What happened, Nick?
His hand was stuck.
You stole my camera.
And
Right out of your hand while
she's
you're in the car?
driving. Like, he could have been killed.
You want it, right? What the fuck you want it, right?
But justified,
Man,
right?
Motherfucker, you better get the fuck up out of here. You fucking coward. Motherfucker, you a coward, bitch.
Coward, why?
You a fucking coward. You robbed you.
You ain't gotta leave.
Get the fuck out of here. Bitch. You fucking coward. You a fucking coward, motherfucker.
Nobody
Motherfucker, you trying to incite that shit.
Nobody stepped in.
Get the fuck up out of here, bro.
Exactly.
$1,000.
She just stole from him and nobody steps in.
Did you call? Did anybody call 911? Have Kevin do it.
Why are you in this neighborhood? In America,
We got it all on
country,
video. We're not
right?
Nazis.
Man, you fucking Nazi.
We're not Nazis and we're not racist. I condemn Hitler completely.
Racist, bitch.
I'm not racist. I condemn all
That's
racism.
the guy, you a fucking Nazi.
I condemn all racism.
Why are you here?
We were driving through and we got followed. You guys followed us.
No, we're following you, but who are you?
Yeah, do you hear
Doesn't
that?
matter.
We're following you because who are you? They were driving just through the neighborhood. That's all they were doing is driving through the neighborhood, and they start getting followed. We were following because who are you? What does it matter? For real. What does it matter?
We're allowed to be here. It's the United States of America.
Exactly.
Why do we have to leave?
What? They just.
We're not leaving until we get the camera. You want us to leave? Give us the camera. Call your friend, get the camera back, and we'll leave.
Racism, but yet you're treating him like this. Why? Why?
Exactly.
Racism can go both ways.
You've been doing that 2 hours fucking recording.
You guys were
Like, absolutely insane. Because he's driving through a neighborhood. They decide to follow him. And that's justified. Stealing his stuff, justified, because who are you? Why are you in our neighborhood? This is our neighborhood. Get the fuck out. This isn't America. Do we not understand and see the division that is going on everywhere? Like, you look at places like even England. There are areas in there that are no-go zones that are literally have been taken over by Muslims, and white people who are not Muslim are not allowed. Can't go there. I mean, and they were people who just came there, not native born or citizens. But yep. Oh my God. So this guy made me laugh. Another accepting leftist who is just absolutely retarded. That's right. I dropped the R word. Today I was kidnapped by ICE.
I got arrested for being in a street. I wasn't impeding traffic. I was just scolding Nazis for their bad decision.
I was just scolding Nazis. I wasn't doing anything but scolding Nazis. You and I both know that he was attacking at ICE people. He was sitting there saying whatever it was. Oh yeah. I noticed a trend, a lot of IQ monkeys, 100%. So I wasn't doing anything except for scolding Nazis. I'm pretty sure none of them are Nazis. You know, you're just assuming. What do I know?
And they came up, they lined up, and then they sprinted after me and they chased me for blocks. I was running for my life. I was scared. I don't know what they're going to do to me. They're fucking Nazis. A woman was filming me from her minivan and I begged her to let me in because I was.
It's funny. So he's allowed to be scared because people are chasing after him. But now, then the other guy, Jake Lang, that we just finished showing, people are like, oh, look, he's crying. Oh, look, he was all scared and stuff like that. Like, are you serious? What does it say? That guy is now demanding leftists to start shooting ICE agents. Wow. Acceptable left, guys. Jesus.
Scared. So I jumped in the back of her minivan, and you know what they did? They came up and they put a gun to her face. They pulled a pistol on her and put a gun to her face.
So
this is not America. This is not freedom. This is fascism. It's here now. While I was detained, they put us into a cell without ventilation.
I doubt
they put us in there.
You didn't have ventilation, you'd be dead. I'm just saying.
And they people were pepper sprayed, so we're just coughing the whole time. They didn't read me my rights. They didn't read any of their rights. No one got to speak to a lawyer. One man was in there. They beat his face in. He was bleeding. His face was smashed in for the crime of blowing a whistle in public. Wake the fuck up, America. Stop pretending like the midterms are going to save you. Get off your fucking asses and resist.
Resist. Okay, hold on. Allegedly, this guy he's talking about, his face was beaten in for blowing a whistle in public. How many people are actually thinking and believing the fact that homeboy was just standing out there, just blowing his whistle, minding his business, just toot, 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 toot? How much you want to bet he was literally in the faces of agents as they were trying to go and do their job, blowing the whistle in their face or in their ears? Now, again, I'm not saying that violence is right. However, as we noticed, or we played a video in their last podcast of some guy on the right who just, finally had enough after getting a bullhorn in his ear repeatedly and started attacking. I mean, that's the thing, is the left is so quick to attack, use violence, but then it gets retaliated someone finally has enough and retaliates and also says, oh my God, look what they did. Oh, they beat this guy's face in. Oh, they hurt him. I'm not saying in every situation that it's justified, but a lot of these situations, come on, you guys won't even let people talk without attacking them. But somebody gets assaulted and retaliates and you cry about it. Get the fuck out of here. Like, shut up. For real. Just shut up. All I gotta say is fuck around and find out, bitch. Now, there was another thing that had come up that I was really not impressed about. Squirrely Nuts, I love you. Thank you for reposting. You're the best. Is these psycho protesters, including Don Lemon, which we'll get to, decided to barge into a church service and start protesting. Really? I mean, I know everyone's like, oh, it's free to protest. Yeah, okay. Outside the church, maybe. You're going to barge into a church service? I mean, Jesus.
David Easterwood is a pastor here. He is also the director of the field office for ICE in St. Paul. So someone who claims to worship God, teaching people in this church about God, is out there overseeing ICE agents. Think about what we've experienced. The murder of Renee Good at the hands of ICE.
It's funny how all of a sudden people care about fucking white women. I'm really sorry. This is going to get me feisty. For the longest time, up until Renee, no one gave a shit about the white woman, right? Now, all of a sudden, everyone's crying about the white woman. Come the fork on.
Venezuelan national shot by ICE, a 6-month-old baby who almost died as a result of ICE unleashing military-grade weapons on our community. How dare you claim to be a pastor of God and you are involved in evil in our community?
Do you think Jesus would be understanding?
We're about worship.
These folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them?
No, church had gathered for worship, which we do every Sunday, and we were interrupted by this group of protesters. We asked them to leave, and they obviously have not left.
The funny thing is, do you see the, as much as he's distraught, do you see the calmness in Homeboy's face? He is literally like, we asked him to leave, and they won't leave. He is sitting there very calmly, which is fortunately, unfortunately, whatever. A lot of people on the right, they are a lot more calm and understanding, use common sense, don't retaliate. Weird. Okay, so they just keep yelling freaking ICE out repeatedly there, which is slightly annoying. Then we got our Mr. Don Lemon. Don Lemon. The freaking dildo extreme. Teehee.
That they invited folks out.
This is operation.
This is an operation that is secret, that they invited folks out.
This is Operation Pull Up, more of a clandestine operation. We show up somewhere. They don't expect us to come there. And then we disrupt business as usual.
So right now it's kind of mayhem. We're not part of the activists, but we're here just reporting on them.
Yeah, okay.
Did they explain to you why they're here?
They did not.
They said that there is someone here, Easterwood, someone who is a member of ICE, and he's a pastor of the church.
Our church had gathered for worship, which we do every Sunday. We asked them to leave, and they obviously have not left.
So this is what the First Amendment is about the freedom to protest.
There's a varying array of views in this church
Right.
on politics of immigration. Recognize the complexity of the issue.
This shows you just how divided America is. When you look at the protesters here, and then you look at the people there who are praying.
Yeah,
And
look at that. The peaceful people on the right who are just there to worship Jesus are sitting there peacefully trying to do so. And what are y'all doing? Being assholes, as per usual.
You know what was the interesting thing? If these two groups could just get together, they might figure out what to do.
I don't necessarily agree with everything that's going on in the Twin Cities right now, but I don't think it's good to fight fire with fire. I think it's good to speak up. I think it's good to protest, but I think it's better to do it in a peaceful way.
Agreed.
Yeah, that was interesting to watch. This guy here, look.
Oh, was it that interesting? Yeah, kids.
And
kids were
you know,
there.
I've imagined it's uncomfortable and traumatic for the people here.
Yes, and you were part of that. You were part of the traumatizing of children by busting in and traumatizing poor children while they were just there to worship Jesus. Whether you're religious or not, still, it's not okay. It's unacceptable. It literally is. And it's funny because they went after the churches and stuff like that during COVID too. Weird. Oh, I'm seeing so many similarities here, but yet on one side, the left was so quick to turn on the neighbors, and on this side, now that it has to do with actual criminals, they're protecting them. Huh. Weird.
What do you think of this?
I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of
Agreed.
Christian worship. So,
but there were folks who will
that's what, I have to take care of my flock. And
okay,
my
but listen,
family.
we live in there's a constitution in the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
Okay, freedom to assemble and protest and freedom of speech, again, I will say is funny because when it has to do with the people on the left, they can say or do whatever the hell that is that they want to do. But people on the right, they are not allowed to say anything because then they will actually violently and physically be attacked just by opening up their mouth. You want to protest, you want to do it outside the church, even though that is still disrupting and disrespectful. Okay, fine. You're outside the church. You barged into a church service where there are children. And yet you feel good about yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself. That's disgusting. You've literally helped traumatize children. And yet you feel good about it because, you know, we're fighting for the criminals.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me though.
We're here to worship Jesus.
Yes.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why we're here. That's what we're about.
Don't you think Jesus would be understanding
we're about
and love these folks?
We're about
Did you hear that? Don't you think Jesus would be understanding and love these folks? What are really? Okay, in the form of, I guess, religion and Jesus Christ, yeah, probably they would he would understand and love them. However, doesn't mean that he would think it's right. You're literally
praying the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a Christian?
One is willing.
Did you try to talk to them? Did you try to talk to them? No one is willing to talk. How are you going to go talk to them when someone is yelling in your face and screaming at them, listen to me, do as I say, listen to what I'm saying? How are you supposed to have a conversation with that? Nobody wants to talk. It was the same even when it came to Ottawa in Canada and the Freedom Convoy. No, like no one wanted to talk. They just kept yelling, you're a terrorist, you're this, you're that. Like no one actually wanted to have a conversation. They were there to have a conversation. You didn't want to have a conversation. I'm pretty sure homeboy here, if someone were to walk up to him and be like, hey, let's have a conversation, maybe not during a church service. Just saying. that he'd probably be willing to have a conversation. But you guys are being extremely disrespectful. So
Okay. I have to take care of my church and my family, so I asked if you actually would also leave this building.
You don't want us to chronicle what happened?
Unless you're here to worship.
I'm always worship. I'm a Christian.
We're here.
I'm always here to worship. I'm a Christian. Then why the fork are you in a church with people who are disrupting a service? How is that Christian? How is attacking people in a place of God being Christian? So shut up. I mean, you don't know what you're talking about. Like you're absolutely being ridiculous. Very, very angry about this whole thing. You couldn't tell. Guys, I don't know what to tell you. The left is so far gone. And the thing is, I understand there being some sort of outrage on one side of it where, you know, innocent people maybe being detained. Actually, not just, you know, hearsay or whatever. And people being injured or whatever. But there's so much more. So, okay, so hold on. I was just given here the Freedom of Access Clinic Entrance Act is in 1994 U.S. federal law making it a crime to use force, threats, or physical obstruction to block access to reproductive health services or places of worship, aka churches, protecting patients and providers from the intimidation and damage. It allows the criminal prosecution and civil lawsuits for violations covering activities like violence, threats, and property damage in the clinics and religious sites, and remains a key, though debated, law for ensuring access to care. The key provisions: it prohibits actions using force of threats, physical obstruction to interfere with someone getting or providing reproductive health services or religious freedom in a place of worship, protects the property, prohibits international damaging and destroying of reproductive health facilities and places of worship. Enforcement: authorities in the U.S. government, general, state, local attorneys, or aggravated parties to bring civil ceases for injunctions, damage, and penalties. So it's actually against the law. You shouldn't, like, the understanding left, people. The understanding left. Do better. Do better. I understand people are going to be angry, but do you not, in some situations, but do you not understand the purpose of what ICE is doing? They are trying to get rid of the criminals, and you people are literally stopping them from getting rid of actual criminals. And you're attacking people. You yourself are using violence. You sit there and cry about the fact that Renee Goods got shot after hitting an officer, might I add. But you guys are literally going to places and attacking people like Jake Lang or Nick Sorter. You're using violence against them. Jake Lang got stabbed. Like, you're going into a church, you're attacking people, you're traumatizing people. Like, what are you doing? How do you expect anybody to actually listen to you or take you guys seriously or have a conversation with you when these are the things that you're doing? I know I wouldn't want to have a conversation with someone who's literally yelling at me in my face, attacking me, and be able to have a conversation with them. Where's the conversation? There is no conversation. Okay, hold on. I was just sent this video. Let's play this. So, from Harmeet Dillon, whatever. No one has the right to protest by trespassing onto private house, especially the house of God Almighty. Freedoms of the press does not protect journalists nor anyone else, and they are actively committed crimes. I agree.
You don't have a right to protest in somebody's house, and that was God's house. And the First Amendment does not apply to your barging in as a trespasser into God's house and literally violating federal law by disrupting a worship in progress and terrorizing children and moms and making them cry and running out the back door. And then he goes out and he says, this was the whole purpose. We want to put people in fear so that they rethink their policies. No. Not in a house of worship, a sanctuary of God. It is outrageous behavior. And by the way, outside he's backtracking, and I think he realizes he's in hot water now by some of his statements he made yesterday to try to clean up what he
As
did
he
after
should be.
he got activated, and the Attorney General got activated on this. But the First Amendment does not protect journalists when they're committing crimes themselves. You don't have a right to protest in
Which I completely agree with. I mean, Don Lemon is a special character as it is. But the fact that he's like, I'm not part of this whole thing. I'm just reporting on it. Are you being serious right now? For one, you went in there with the people who were part of the protest. Two, you're literally talking to the pastor and saying bullshit like, well, I mean, shouldn't you be more Christian? Shouldn't you listen to what they have to say? What is it they're saying except from the same thing over and over again, yelling in your face? That's not having a conversation. You want to have a conversation, be like, hey, can we sit down and have a convo? Just like I've opened up and we've opened up many times to people who don't have the same points of view as we do. Our show we did on Saturday was with somebody who doesn't have the same ideology as we might, has different points of view. We welcome that, to actually have a conversation, to have a discourse, to have a debate peacefully, without attacking, without violence. Like, do better, people. Like, just actually think about it. Think about all the shit that's going on. Again, I will say, everybody is complaining right now and trying to protect criminals because, they're trying to get you to rat on your neighbors when you were so quick, or when they were so quick to do so through COVID. Think of what the government and your neighbors did through COVID, and then tell me that we need to then all of a sudden protect and to do this and to do that and don't listen to this. It all literally has to do with the fact that it was a big orange man. If it was freaking Biden or Kamala that was doing the same thing right now, y'all would be cheering. Yeah, get the criminals out. Why are you guys protecting criminals? I understand you being outraged if innocent people are getting hurt. I understand that. Voice your opinion. But when it comes to you literally impeding them getting rid of actual criminals, people who are essaying children, raping people, you would want to protect that? Are you being serious? Like, I mean, you got the, what is it called? The dark side of your mind that kicks in and wants to be like, I hope it happens to you so that maybe you'll understand. But I don't wish that upon anybody. I really don't. And the fact that you guys are protecting these people, like, I can't even imagine looking in the face of a parent whose child was essayed by somebody who did not belong here and be like, I'm going to protect my neighbor because he was kind to me. I can't. It makes no sense. I think in some situations, the ICE agents are going a little bit further than they may need to go. I think in large part, they are literally being attacked everywhere they go. And to be fair, if you were going out and every time you were on your way to work, people are attacking you, they're coming at you, they're literally not allowing you to get to work, you're late all the time, eventually you're just going to have enough and you're going to get pissed off. And unfortunately, I think because too many people impeding on what these agents are trying to do, that's exactly what's happening, is they're getting pissed off. And they're just like, okay, you talk different, you look different, come with me. Like, their patience is just gone. And I'm not saying that that's okay for innocent people to get hurt. But there needs to be understanding on both sides of this situation. And what the left is doing right now is absolutely insanity. They are creating a much more hostile, violent outcome than needs to be. They're just making things so much worse. And they need to just fucking be better. That's right. I'm just going to let it out. Fucking be better. Anyway, I think I've harped on this situation long enough. And I want to thank every single one of you who has been with me through this ride and took the time out of your day to come sit with me and listen to the insanity going on in the world today. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside and really helps me out. And helps get the word out. Helps get words out of the other side. People who actually have a brain. Anyway, we are live every Monday and Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central, and every Saturday at 1 p.m. Central. So come check us out. You can also check us out in all the places listed in the description box below. All the videos I showed today and everything that I talked about is also listed in the description box. So watch it yourself, make your own opinions, do that fun stuff. But to anybody who is on our side, don't let our voices get shut. Don't let this psycho left win. Share us. Get us out there. I'll see you again on Wednesday. I'm out.